Yeah, hello, it's me again, popping back, and it's been terrible. It's been really terrible because what have I been doing? I've been working. I've been very busy with Toastmasters, very busy with the church, and I've got other things going on in my private life as well. So essentially, it's been very complex. What I really wanted to do was make great content. That was it. Make great content on YouTube. That would be lovely. But I didn't really have either the zest to do it, or the ability or the time. All right, so therefore it wasn't easy for me to do what I enjoy. So that's basically what's been, what everything's been about. As far as being able to afford to live is concerned, I've been, if I want to shoot a video with a good argument, or what I think is a good argument at the time, or just happy, bubbly, giggly, fun-loving, something or other going on inside my head, and I just want to express it, then I'd then want to shove it onto the computer, edit it, make it look good, all that kind of stuff. Then upload and hope people like it. All right, that's time. Okay, that's time which I don't necessarily always have. So it's been difficult for me, but yeah, I do want to start getting myself back into making videos. I've been trying to work at getting myself fitter. So I've been getting myself mentally addicted to bicycles. I don't know whether you can tell the various videos I've been liking on YouTube, but some of them are to do with rather exotic, interesting, different varieties of bicycles. And I've gone and got myself a new bike, which I'm paying for still. Probably have that covered next month. But the fact of the matter is, I want to work on my fitness and my health as well. I named this channel Nick Dutch Tarot Psychic and more kind of thing because I wanted to really put in more stuff about mind and body health and the rest of it. But some of the things I've been finding out about, I've had to question, and some of the things I've been finding out about have also been quite frightening. The ones which I have tested and have found out about and are true, which goes contrary to what the doctors say, which is where things get even more complex because the things I now understand about, let's say, human health, my human health, and the things which the doctors say are in contradiction. So I'm now in a position of thinking to myself, all right, it's been a controversial channel so far, okay? Am I going to make this a more controversial channel by telling you more about what I've experienced and more about what I've seen and more about what's happened to me and more about what I personally think is right at the moment? But I'm going to get seriously attacked for it, because people are going to say you're crazy to think this stuff, or you're thick because you're thinking this stuff, when basically I've got to trust the experience, my experience, as opposed to just trusting what somebody else tells me. I mean, this is one thing that we've all got to be very careful of, because there is such a thing as fake news, there is such a thing as false science, but there's also such a thing as things which are objectively true, which is currently denied by regular science. All right, so what's going on there? I don't think it's a conspiracy. I just think that that maybe the process of peer review is too slow. All right, and there's some things which are not within everybody's experience, or that not everybody has thought about these things, so they therefore dismiss them as being factually inaccurate when in fact they are true. I think I think it's difficult to say, and maybe that's the same with some spiritual experiences things and some things associated with, let's say, the spiritual healing experiences that I've had, which also raise more and more questions. Again, they don't necessarily provide concrete answers. Some things I've experienced, yes, there are some concrete answers associated with them, but other things not quite so much. But maybe if one lot of things which all the experts disagree with and and don't agree with are true, and maybe there's more truth to all the other stuff, and so what have I been doing being quite so aggressive with my own skepticism of the things that I'm involved in when maybe I shouldn't have been, and it's getting complex. Okay? I don't want to lead people down the wrong path. I am aware through self-observation and observation of other people and other situations that I've seen in the outer world that there are some forms of psychological states that people can end up getting into as a result of experiencing too much of the wrong kind of delivery of ideas, and that can be detrimental. And I think I've been shying away from that because I've been thinking like there's things which I don't want to happen to other people who watch my stuff. And so therefore it's a question of like delivering my own personal message in a way which is a bit new, a bit different, in some respects a bit more hard-hitting, enabling both skepticism and knowledge which comes out of hard and fast experience. If I do these things, if I say these things, and I'm brave enough to say these things, and to do these things for myself, will I get attacked by more people here on YouTube? Probably yes. So am I going to do these things? Am I going to say these things? Am I going to try and change my whole way of life to incorporate these ideas more? And can I? Okay, considering my limitations as a human being, considering the limitations of my lifestyle, considering the limitations of the things which I've been using to help me cope during pressure and work and everything else, can I actually do these things? I don't know. I mean, everything from doing that course in nutrition I did, to the changes which have happened as I've taken various different forms of supplementation, partially as a result of that course, partially as a result of looking into the thing which all the skeptical people out there hate, namely alternative health, right? Within which there are some things which, again, the experience of my senses and the experience of what's happened to my body has demonstrated that there is some truth to, all right, which goes contrary to what the doctors say. It's complex. Then, of course, there's all of the psychological stroke spiritual stuff as well. And what we're looking at here is me having done a few things which have expanded my understanding of reality, which has caused me to be in a intellectual conflict of a greater degree with those who are either skeptical or pseudo-skeptical, depending upon how you look at it, to the point whereby I am developing a level of skepticism of what the scientific experts and peer review people are saying, which is kind of going to upset the people who are already following me on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, who are within the more skeptical camp. All right? Which means change. If I do this. Oh, well, I'm sure I'm going to do some other bits of work and bits of videos which are just going to be there for a laugh as well. Okay. But can I explain myself well, coherently and intelligently, taking into account we're talking about yeah, I'm 42 now, so we're talking about 2.5 years worth of me developing more and more and more of an interest. More than 2.5, nearly 3 years worth of like experience reading stuff, trying to jiggle ideas around inside my head to try and make some sense of it all. And of course, objective study. Okay? Providing me with a number of different paradigms, points of view, interpretations, which again, just like every other paradigm, point of view, and interpretation, will have some hard and fast truth in it, but of course will, just like everything else, still be an incomplete reflection of the total, complete, and utter truth. Okay? So we could say like a series of observations and contemplations. Maybe that's my disclaimer. This will be, if I choose to do this, a series of observations and contemplations. Therefore, it's up to you to try and work things out for yourself. Okay? Does that make sense? Taking into account that I want to try and explain myself ethically and to try and get my message across through whatever it is I'm talking about at that time in a manner which is not to lead people down the wrong path, and is to try and help people, because that's like a reason to live. Is this the direction I can go in? I don't know. Maybe I'll just get this done one video at a time, and see how this can work. And I'm going to expect some flack, I suppose. I suppose I'm going to have to expect some flack. Because, like, when you're contemplating going into things in a way which goes contrary to a lot of people's points of view, you can probably expect that people, due to their strongly held points of view as a result of their education and their trust and belief in science the way it is at the moment, which may also have problems, means that complexity will abound. I will leave it like that right now. Rather enigmatic, rather complex, but yeah, I'll leave it like that right now. Keep watching.